Good morning and welcome to Talkback on 4CRB. Our phone number is 55208888 and today our program focuses on the Tweed Shire Council and its activities, and we welcome former Mayor and now current Councillor, of course, Warren Polglase. Welcome, Warren. Nice to have you with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
And you're all set now to field questions, comments, queries from the Tweed folk?
Whatever comes along.
Okay. All right. So here it is. You've given us 30 minutes of your busy day to have a chat with you. It's your opportunity to get through to him, tell him what you think. If you're down there on the Tweed, it's a direct line through to the council, 55208888. And Warren, I suppose the Tweed, like we folks here on the Gold Coast, its big problem right now is managing growth.
Yes, well, councils, as we've been talking about for a time now, done this growth housing management strategy. We've had about 640 plus submissions put in. The submissions have now closed, and that'll set the foundation of what we may or may not be able to achieve in future years to come. The biggest issue we have in the Tweed is that we've got nobody building hardly any accommodation for units or people requiring short-term rentals or long-term rentals at all. It's very, very quiet, and council, in conjunction with state and federal government, need to be able to stop the talk first and start putting some bricks on the ground, because we've been talking about supporting growth and how we're going to manage it for 4 or 5 years, and I've only seen one block of units built for affordable housing, and that was in Boyd Street some years ago. So we hope this program we're looking at will stimulate not only people to look at the Tweed, to build in the Tweed, but also look at how we can get some affordable accommodation for those that desperately need it, and try and get some rental prices down, because any young person or young family just can't afford to live in the Tweed anymore. It's just too expensive, and they'll go elsewhere, and the Tweed will become probably an area for more and more retired people. We want young families and mums and dads with kids going to school, because we just built a brand new hospital. It's a lovely place to live, but we need young families to be able to afford to live there.
This is the dichotomy to some extent, isn't it? That it's such a great place. People know it's a terrific place to live, and yet at your end, it's a matter of how are you going to accommodate them?
Well, you know, the affordability in Tweed Shire is about $1 million for a house. I can't see many young people being able to afford that. The land content is where the money is the biggest cost. Building whether you build in Ballon or Tweed or the Gold Coast, it's very similar in price to build, but it's the land content, and the biggest problem we haven't got enough land being released. Cobblecai or in King's Forest especially are now doing about 137 lots, very close to coming on the market in the next probably 3 or 4 months. They're probably more than halfway through, but I believe the demand for that is enormous. But we need a lot more land being developed, and we need to be able to support those people who wish to invest in developing land to get land on the market sooner than later and at an affordable price.
Just a question out of left field. You're a little bit of ways from where the decisions are made down in Sydney, being in New South Wales. What's the relationship with the state government? Are they aware of your problems and cooperative?
Well, state government has told Tweed Shire, and we did a exercise with Kingslip some years ago, and it was looked at what heights would be in the Kingslip area, and they wanted to lower the heights a bit. We sent down the documentation to look for an amendment to the LEP which would allow the height variations to take place, and the state government said no, you need to increase the density by 40%. Well, the only way you increase density in that area is to go up. Right. Yeah. And that's the same all over the Tweed Shire. The area around Greenbank Island has been identified as an area where we could get some more density, and that would be height. But looking at when we did this strategy, the growth management strategy, there's a lot of people definitely not supportive of it. So we've got an issue with how do we respond to state government direction in the Tweed Shire when the broader community wants to leave things practically as they are. So there is a challenge there for this council and future councils and state government, but the stalemates must be alleviated. There's no way we continue doing what we're doing. We just got to be able to do it better and we need state government support financially to tip some money into areas where we can build this affordable accommodation for people that need it.
You're seeking public input and consultation, aren't you?
Yes, we are. It's now closed, and we're now going through it in the next month or so, and we'll probably have something on the table around the September, October, maybe before where we're going to go and what we're going to do.
Still, somebody listening right now might have a bright idea. It would be a good opportunity to phone in on 55208888 and let you know about it, right?
Any idea would be good at this stage.
Let's have your calls, folks, in Talkback. We're talking about the Tweed Shire today. We'll be back shortly.
When it comes to a celebration of life, it's nice to remember that New Haven Funerals are a local family-owned business since 1979, and they're here to assist you in every way when the need arises. New Haven will also assist you in pre-planning a funeral, saving your family the burden of having to organise everything. For more information, contact our sponsor, family-owned New Haven Funerals, on 5593 4777 or online at newhavenfunerals.com.au.
In Talkback this morning, we're chatting with Councillor Warren Polglase, discussing the Tweed Shire Council and its activities, and we welcome your calls on 55208888. From the weighty problems of growth management and things like that, let's get down to the issues that folks think most of, I suppose, when they talk about the council. That's things like garbage and that sort of thing. You've got a message about garbage bins, right?
Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, the EPA, which directs council on the management of garbage waste, has brought in a new criteria as regards what and what cannot be put into the various red, green or yellow bins. And there's a big variation to some of this issue, and council will be starting on a campaign this week. We're starting it to direct people we have to change our attitudes on what we're putting in some of these bins. Like, you give an example. Once upon a time, we would put cardboard maybe in the yellow bin because it could be recycled. Now it's got to go in the red bin, which goes to landfill. So the new direction we're getting from state government is going to increase the red bin capacities for landfill. There's quite a variation to what can be put in the green bin now. It'll mainly only be garbage, green waste from garbage, and no paper. So there's a whole variety of changes which we as a council have been supportive of for many, many years, and we have a very efficient system in Tweed at present where we have a place where we can prepare all this green waste and turn it into garden mulch, which is a good thing for a council. It's an income generating. But now with the EPA have given new directions, and we now have to re-educate our community on how we can repurpose the bins and how they're going to be used. So there will be a campaign that'll be out there. Our people will be able to communicate with anybody who wants to know about it, and we'll be going on in the Tweed link and on social media to try and get people to get them to reconsider. It's not going to be easy because old habits are hard to stop. I know what I do, and I was told I've done it wrong. Yeah. So we need to and let people have some time to be able to get educated on what can and cannot be now put in the bins. And I'm sure that we'll get some challenges, and there'll be some. We've got people on the ground that'll go around and door knock if they have to, or talk to people we find with the systems being abused and used in time to come. But overall, it's an enormous change for us to look at because of where we've been now, where we're going to go in the future. It's all about EPA, environmental protection issues, and it's to come about by some of the ingredients that are used in various manufacturing of some goods, which are now considered to be not suitable to go through the processes of the green bins. Must go to landfill. So that's going to increase our landfill capacity, and also I think a lot of people will need a bigger red bin than what there are two types of bins, a 70 litre and the 100 litre bin. So a lot of people will want to go to the bigger bins because we'll need to put more stuff in the red bin.
Yeah, well, it's always been a bit of a nightmare as far as what truly was recyclable, for example, and I understand that it would only take a small amount of unrecyclable material to be in that bin to negate the whole purpose of the exercise.
If there's a bin or one bin or two bins that go into the recycling area, and it's not considered to be inappropriate to build it, the whole load gets knocked back goes to landfill. I'll give an example. One of the issues we do have is people throwing batteries, whether it be out of the phones or little small batteries, and they may not be aware, but there has been times when the bin's been loaded into the truck and the truck's still going along, picking up, and all of a sudden there's a fire in the back of the truck.
Wow.
So the process there now is the truck stops on the road, tips it out, runs it out, and calls the fire brigade. So these are the sort of things that people are doing, even though they're not sometimes, I'll just throw it in the bin. But it's going in the wrong bin. So batteries should not be thrown in any bin. They should be taken to the depot.
Right.
So, we're going to put a lot of effort and money into educating our community because it has become a big issue.
55208888 for you to pose your questions and make your comments to Councillor Polglase whilst he's with us. 55208888. Talk back on 4CRB discussing the activities of the Tweed Shire Council. Now then, parks, of course, another great responsibility for the council, and some activity going on at Ray Pascoe Park.
Well, Ray Pascoe Park's been probably one of the hot spots for fishermen to put their boats in and have a playground area. It's a very lovely spot on the Tweed River there, and council's investing about $900,000. We're probably halfway through regenerating the whole park and the whole area, and we're trying to create some better parking issues around that area. So it's one of those things that's been on the agenda for quite a while, but it's now well underway, and we should be finished in another probably 2 or 3 months. It'll be a good asset for everybody. I think we can be able to park some more boat trails around the place, and there's a couple of new restaurants have opened close by, so it's a great little area where we've invested some good money for the community to enjoy.
Talking about, near $1 million there, your council would be running into the same sort of problems with increasing labour costs and the costs of materials and that sort of thing. Is this affecting your estimates for jobs?
Well, it does affect our costings. A lot of this money is grant funding money we get, but the grant funding we applied for probably 12 months ago. So the variation between now and 12 months could be between 5 and 10%. So we as a council, this one has been needed to be done for quite a while. We've gone ahead and done it. If there's any shortfall, we've got to play around with the figures within the budget to try and finish off what we consider to be projects that should be completed. I think in the future we're going to face some really tough decisions because the way the costs are going, it's way beyond our expectations of being able to keep on budget with some of our projects.
I think we have a caller for you, Warren. It's Joanna on the line.
Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning, Mr. Polglase. I live at Banura Point, facing on the back of Fraser Drive. The other week they did the road up, but we've got one problem. I have got a poinciana tree with the big branches hanging across the road. With all the rain and everything, the poinciana tree has brought up so much water in one of the branches that it's broken off and it's hanging near the road. And I'm worried that a car's going to come past and it's going to fall on a car. Is there any way that we can get the council to come and get rid of it?
Yes, there is. If you make contact with Tweed Shire, you can ring them up. You get a 0266 702 400 and ask it. That'll take you through to customer service and lodge a request there, and those sort of things will be attended quite quickly.
Because it's not only my tree, but the neighbour next door, she's got a jacaranda, and because of the rain and everything, they're just splitting and then they're rotting. Yep.
No, so give them a call this morning and straight away, and you'll be surprised how quickly they'll respond.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Warren, would you care to rattle through that number again? You're pretty
0266 702 400. We'll take you through to customer services and they will address the issue.
Thanks a lot, Joanna, for your call. That's the way to get instant action. You phone in on our talkback line, 55208888, 9:20 now, 10 minutes remaining for you to have a chat with Councillor Polglase during talkback.
The Animal Welfare League Queensland is currently raising funds to urgently upgrade the Gold Coast Rehoming Centre's dog exercise yards, which are used to enrich the lives of our shelter dogs. By donating, you'll be helping towards the rehabilitation and enrichment of dogs in our care. To donate, visit our website awlqld.com.au or call us on 55 099 033. Every dollar counts and brings the Animal Welfare League Queensland closer to making a difference in animals' lives. The number again, 55 099 033.
A 4CRB sponsor.
And on 4CRB, we're talkbacking today with Councillor Warren Polglase in relation to activities involving the Tweed Shire Council, 55208888. Now, sport. You've got an interesting sport there at the council and activities going towards a new sports event.
Yes, this was brought about some time ago when the Benoran Point pool, the Benoran Point Club, closed their pool, and it raised an enormous amount of concern amongst the community. I mean, the petitions are going around with 1,500 to 2,000 signatures, and all these issues were raised because it was a very popular pool. Over the last 12 or 18 months, council staff were aware of what was needed in the area, and they have been diligently working away on how do we create and look for a complete community centre, which would consist of an aquatic pool, indoor sports centre, and all the equivalents that can go with those areas. Some time ago, we looked at doing an arrangement with the school there in South Tweed, and that didn't come out about an indoor community facility. So council staff have been diligently working away, and in March this year they put forward, we had a workshop and they put on the table about a proposal for an indoor aquatic centre and indoor community centre also. It took a lot of the councillors by surprise, but you must acknowledge the spontaneous people we have working in Tweed Shire Council that believed that we could work through this process. So it came to council for recognition and support, and council supported that we further investigate and scope the whole project to build a complete indoor aquatic centre and then also a indoor sporting facility, and that'll be looked. And the area we're looking at is where the original pool is in South Tweed and the skate park there and all that surrounding area. So council is now moving forward to scope it and look at what we need to do and how many go about. Now you're talking anything between $70 and $80 million project, but I believe it's about time we looked at some of these bigger projects. We're a growth area. We need to support and supply opportunities for our people. We have enormous wet weather we've had in the past, so indoor sporting facilities are needed. And unless you've got projects shovel ready today, you can't get any grant money anywhere. So congratulations to our staff for being positive and creative in their forthrightness to make this happen, because it's a bold step, and council supported it, and we're now moving in the direction. It'll take a long period of time, 3 or 4 years, to get to where we want to go, to even look at starting and funding it, but it's a good way we should be stepping forward, and I encourage a lot of our staff to be courageous and put things up to council where they believe that's a good community benefit. And we have the staff that have done that, and I acknowledge their preparedness to be able to get on with the job and do it. I've been there for a few years in Tweed Shire Council. This was a bold move, but it was a great idea.
Yes, they're big numbers you have to talk about these days in these sort of activities.
Well, we're looking at raising Clary Hall Dam coming in. That case is getting closer and closer, and that's a $70 or $80 million investment also. This project will be in the same sort of money. But anything we touch nowadays is enormous money for community activities. Swimming pools in these areas don't make any money for Tweed Shire. They probably run at a loss, but it's a community benefit for all the community, whether you have young and old. If you look at the facility that was built in Wollongbar some years ago, it's extremely well used. It's popular, and it's a community benefit. So, and that comes at a cost which we as a council are prepared to wear, because there's a greater benefit for the community than there is the cost involved in making it happen.
Well, we talked about sport. Can we touch on art? It's not an art desert, is it? The Tweed?
No, the Tweed River Art Gallery is definitely a place to go and have a look at now. Every second year we have the Molumban Art Award, which is an award for a local artist. The award is $10,000 and $5,000, and also it's also for young artists to nominate their art, put forward. And now, if you wish to, and we're now open for receiving art. If you wish to be involved with it, you can go to our website, and it's called Gallery Tweed New South Wales gov.au, and then you /what's-on/prize awards. This is cool. This is the Molumban Youth Art Award. So if people wish to get involved, it's now open for submissions, and I encourage everybody to put forward. It's a great event. The Art Gallery Foundation sponsor it, and we also have a family that sponsors the Youth Award, which is really a great thing to have. And overall, we have a lot of art come forward, and it'll be open now, and we're sure we get a lot of it. It's open for everybody in the Northern Rivers and also the Gold Coast. So come forward with your art and see how you get on.
Well, the art gallery itself and that mural there along the river there at Murwillumbah, it must attract folks to come to the Tweed.
Well, the art gallery with the Monet there, which is worth $174 million.
Yeah.
The gallery is really going really well. It's become probably one of the leading tourist spots in the Tweed Shire, if not in the Northern Rivers, with the management of the gallery and the art shows we have a very progressive director and organisational team there, which are really on the ball in putting up good presentation. During the school holidays, they had a lot of children's functions for families can bring their children there and play with cranes and art and draw this thing. So overall, it's a great little function centre, and I'm sure that it'll only grow and grow, and maybe we should look at expanding the gallery one day.
Now, I understand the business awards are open?
Yes, the business awards are open. Last year they were an extreme success. There were 650 people turned up. We had 200 nominees for 22 categories, and it was held at Seagulls. It was a great event. This year it's been held in Murwillumbah, and the Murwillumbah awards are now open for people wishing to nominate, and the way they can contact them is the tweedbusinessawards.org. Now, if they make contact with those people, they'll tell them what categories are available and what to do and how to go about it. It's one of those things where we need to recognise our small businesses because they are our biggest employer in Tweed Shire. It's a gala night where they get out and really enjoy themselves, and it's surprising the amount of businesses that we are not aware of that are in the Tweed that have nominated. Last year's 200 nominees was a record, because it didn't happen for the last 5 years, and there were businesses that we didn't even aware that were in the Shire. So we need to recognise these people and encourage more small businesses at Tweed.
Now then, I think last time you chatted with us, it's election year, and you indicated that there was a sort of a familiarisation or training sort of program for intending candidates. So what's the response been?
Well, from what I understand, the response hasn't been overwhelming. It's one of those things where there'll probably be a few more people come forward, but people look at the demands of what's now required in local government to be a councillor, and I can assure you that from the last 15 to 20 years to what it is today, it's a lot more demanding. It's one of those jobs where some of them people want to make it a full-time job. It's not really a full-time job as a councillor because you need to be aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it. My biggest support in looking forward is that because of the Shire now with 100,000 people, we need to look at having wards, because as a councillor you're responsible to understand what's happening all the way from Banora Point down to Burringbar. Well, that's a bit difficult to do now and keep on top of all those issues that do arise. So, it's been talked about wards that tried to try and get it through some time ago, but didn't eventuate. But I think people that now moved to there have come from areas where there are wards, and you have a closer contact with your community when you do have wards. So I believe it's about time we looked at it, but it won't happen this time around. But I think it needs to be on the agenda. But I'm encouraging anybody that believes that they can change the world as they try and do when they first come on council. Well, now's the time to put your name down, test yourself and see whether you want your philosophies are what the community's philosophies are, and whether you've got support and within the elected body to make those happen. I will say that Tweed Shire organisational structure itself is one of the best structures in local government in New South Wales. It's well managed. We've got great leaders in our leadership team. We've got an organisation that I see now starting to flourish with ideas and activities, and that's like any small business. You need these creative people to grow your business, and Tweed Shire needs to grow its business.
Thank you for bringing us up to date with all that's happening there on the Tweed and answering the call there from Joanna, and you'll get onto some action there. Thanks for being with us today, Warren.
Thank you.
And a reminder that the program will be available on demand on the 4CRB website almost immediately.